Cool, I'm streaming. Where are we? Can't even see chat yet. Switch, YouTube Studio. Hopefully it's up. Yeah, it's up. Cool. Control room. And we are good to go. I'm gonna write some posts. And then we'll boot up Unreal. Let some people join. Updates. Cool. Oh, that is everything. Let's see if this works. There we go. Publish. Add the form requirements. Oh, I forgot to do a title. Hopefully that allows me to publish that. There we go. Sweet. I've also lost the live streaming. There we go. Neil, hello. Snail? Snail Mail Games? Hello. Cool, I'm gonna boot up Epic now. Epic Games Launcher. See, I'd put a post up on LinkedIn and Twitter, but I really cannot be bothered to deal with hashtags. Keep it small. Library. That'd be easier. We'll just use 5.3.2. And I'll have to enable the plugins and then drop back. So hopefully it's not too bad. I don't know why this is. There it goes. There we go. I'm not going to be doing any VR, so we'll just do a third-person template. Actually, we'll do the first person. No, wait, what's better? What would look better? We'd bang a whole load of UI onto it. Third person might look better. We'll do that. I think it plays a little bit nicer as well. We've already got mouse control. Is everybody having a good day? Unreal. YouTube shouting at me about quality. Apparently got the stream on 4K. Okay, let's do third person. We don't have to deal with the guns or anything. Quality, starter content. We don't need any of that. Oh, I've already got a folder. Let's do it. UI live stream. And then once I'm done, whatever we come up with, I can put on Patreon afterwards. I'm not even familiar with Common UI. Neither am I. That's why I'm learning it. But essentially, Common UI, if I bring up the documentation, is what they use for Fortnite, and it's primarily a modular UI system. So rather than having to add and remove elements for a UI off the screen, you can essentially just stack them on top of each other, and then it'll work. So let's say we've got a master UMG, which takes up the screen, our main HUD, and then we want to add a pour screen on top of it. It would automatically hide the previous one and display the new one for us, and you can kind of just stack those up on top of each other. So it can be a lot more powerful, but it also allows us to do custom presets for stuff like buttons and console switching. So Common UI overview, might as well just jump into this. Common UI supports the development of cross-platform UIs with complex navigation, such as menus with layers, submenus, or pop-ups. Originally developed for UI in Fortnite, this plugin is available to Unreal Engine users through the plugins menu. This page details use cases Common UI was designed to address and main concepts that drive its design. So basically, you've got the game view, which has your main menu, such as the battle pass here, complete locker, and then when you select one of those, it puts this on top of it. So it literally just stacks UMG in front of each other, so it can make it much easier to work with. And then as soon as you remove it, it'll automatically show the previous elements. So you're basically just like stacking them up, and then you can go back through that layer. So you can do some cool stuff with it. This UI shows two. So this one, the image below shows an example of a complex menu. This UI shows two blade menus, i.e. the ones on the side, overlaid on top of a tabbed UI in the background. The background UI still exists but cannot be interacted with the player if the top layer exists. How is this selective interaction achieved? Meanwhile, input methods can vary between different platforms and controllers. On PC, users select the UI elements above by clicking them with a mouse cursor. On consoles, however, the user selects UI elements using cardinal navigation and button presses. How do we create a UI that works on multiple platforms? And then that's pretty much what it allows you to do here. So if we do a VR example, let's say we've got what would be an OpenXR game, enabled game, you're going to publish to Steam, Pico, Meta, what else? We've got Valve. Basically, we have controllers with different button mappings. So the worst VR controller ever made compared to a relatively good one, if I can get it off the wall, we can then map these to have different UI elements. So if you open up a menu, it would tell you or show a picture to press X. Whereas if you were using this one, it would tell you to use like the bottom touch or something. So you can kind of like procedurally set it, so it'll just figure it out for itself. But the idea today is to just go through and make some menus that we can stack up on top of each other and then reduce down, I think. So keep it easy, but just get that initial UI in place. Woolsey, hi. Welcome to the stream. So let's have a Common UI quick start guide. I created a project. We should be able to just go in and run around. So the first thing we're going to have to do is set up a UI that we can enable or have on the screen and then take mouse control for it. So that's going to be the easiest way to do it, but we need to enable plugins. and then common UI plugin because it's not enabled by default. Beta version, yeah. Let's go with that. I do have the documentation on my other monitor. And then we'll just take a look at setting up. So this is for the gamepad stuff, but I don't think we need all of that. So now I think if we go to blueprints, actor, oh, wrong one. I'll sort this all out in a minute, but we can search for common UI, if I spell it right. Common UI, so now we get a whole bunch of stuff we can work with. So it's just figuring out how we work with it. Cool. So the documentation says that we need to do something in project settings. The viewport is, so this page provides a walkthrough for how to set up common UI in your project. You will learn the following in this guide. Set up your viewport to support input routing, how to create input action data tables, which map controller buttons to actions with your UI. I wonder how this works with the enhanced input system. How to set up default navigation actions which support global click and back button functionality. How to create controller data assets and assign them to specific controllers on specific platforms. So this is just the controller stuff. This hasn't got anything to do with creating a widget stacking. So we might have to look at some stuff. Let's take a look at this though. Viewport input routing setup, engine, edit project settings. There must be a common UI tab in here now. It'll be in plugins. So we've got a common UI editor, common UI framework, common UI input settings, UI editor. So they're blank. Okay. Oh, we don't have any template styles, that's why. Project settings, engine general, game viewport class, project settings, engine. General? And then what? General settings. Set your game viewport client class to common game UI. I could search for it, but I want to just see whereabouts it is in the list. Game viewport client. Common game viewport client. Common UI viewport to reroute input to UI first. Detail common UI to route / handle inputs. And then we got to restart again. It'll be interesting if anybody's in the stream who's actually tried this out before. Cool. Project settings, that should be set. General settings. Game viewport client. Let's take a look. We'll just take a look at the whole thing. So we've got an inputs folder. Josh, never heard of it until now. Well, it's going to be fun, isn't it? We're all figuring it out. Cool. Common action database. So right click content browser, miscellaneous data table, select common input action. Let's just have a look. New folder. Common UI. What was it? Blueprints. I do this all the time. Miscellaneous data table. I don't think it was a data table, was it? It's data asset. Let me double check. Data table. Okay, it is data table. Common input action database. Okay, so what on earth? Common data. I'll just call it common UI. I'm not worried about keeping this clean right now. Alright, too much. Let's go home. Where is it? Where is it? Make it smaller. Cool. I'm guessing we just add... Oh. Don't crash. There we go. Display name, hold display name, navbar priority, keyboard input type. That's annoying, is it? Isn't that the old system? Or to be fair, that's going to exist. I've got a feeling they just removed the old input system from here. That's what's getting deprecated, isn't it? Yeah. So they're still going to keep the list. I just thought I'd check. Default game input type info. This is going to be one of those ones that looks more complicated than it actually is, I think, but tedious to set up. To add new input action rule, click Add in the top bar. Input action consists of the following parameters. Back navbar priority. At least we're using the keyboard, so we don't have to worry about putting headsets on. And it won't let me scroll. Let me fix that. Name of input action, display navbar if present, hold display name. Name of the input action if it requires the user to hold down the button. Okay. Priority used when sorting actions in navbar from left to right. The hell? Surely you would just have the same priority. Like, why is that navbar priority 255? First question. Keyboard input type. Key used for action when using mouse and keyboard, if any. Key used for this action when using gamepad, if any. Gamepad input overrides. Key used for this action on a specific gamepad, useful for platform-specific button overrides such as swapping the back and forward buttons for the gamepad on Nintendo Switch. Okay. I think I've got a grasp of it. Common UI widgets map these abstract actions to actual inputs. For example, you can add a data table and row name reference to the trigger input action in the common button base widget. After that, pressing the button associates with that action will activate the common UI. So does this... I can't tell if this is saying it works separately to the enhanced input system. So UI doesn't need you to set up new button presses and call enhanced, like input action, for example. So like input action back. I don't think you need that with this. Kind of skipping through it. If that's the case, that's really cool. That would clean up everything. Josh, is this something new? And not really. I think it's new for UE5, but I'm only just getting around to taking a look at it. It is, the plugin itself is in alpha, I think it said. I'll have a look for you. Yeah, it's in beta at the minute, but it's used in Fortnite, so it's got to be pretty stable. But to be honest, this isn't the part that I was really interested in. But since we're here, we're going to just take a look at it anyway. The part that I'm more interested in is the actual UMG side of it. So building some UI and stacking them up. I think it'll be pretty cool, especially if it works with VR. it might actually make the whole process of setting those up much easier. Because that's kind of where my mindset is. So let's say we've got, it says back, but if we did one display name, exit, that would be escape. Whole display name, don't need that. Navbar priority. I don't know what this priority is. Like, what value do I set? It doesn't tell you. It just says 255 in the image. Priority used when sorting actions in navbar from left to right. Like, is the lower number better or is a higher number? Let's just do what's in the picture. It doesn't work when I always come back. Or we can Google it. Okay. So gamepad input overrides. We don't have a gamepad, so we just want keyboard. Escape. Oh, for the editor, by the way, for 5.3, I have my quit out action rebinded to my backspace. So when we use escape, it won't close the editor. It will should actually bring up a menu, which should make it easier to do. Default gamepad. I've got a PS5 controller I can connect to the PC. I wonder if we should just connect that and then just test both. Alright, that's connected via Bluetooth, so we can try that. I haven't used a gamepad controller in Unreal in a long time. So, doesn't register. So gamepad, let's do gamepad special left. Is that? I think that's like the back button. We'll do special right. It's kind of the menu button. So actually, let's just rename that to pause menu. That's going to make more sense. Override state enable. Action requires hold. No. Override brush. Image. Override brush. So this is going to be pictures of the escape key, I think. Let's take U for the PC, little green guy, and then we'll take the image A icon red. We'll use that for the PlayStation controller. That's if this is set up properly. I can't see anything for Sony. I'm just going to assume gamepad's going to work with that. Might not. Draw as image. So this is going to be used in the UI. Tiling, no preview, center, gamepad input override. What did it say about that? Gamepad input override. Key used for this action on a specific gamepad. Useful for platform specific button overrides. So just swapping them back and forth. So that's the one if, let's say, we'll use the existing example. Gamepad input override. It would be Nintendo Switch. Generic. I'm running out of space. There it is. Why do it says generic? But then we can switch it. We'll leave that one for now. Touch input. I imagine that's for mobile. Okay, that's not bad then. It's pretty much for each individual input system. So you've got keyboard, which is PC, then you've got gamepad, which is console, and then touch screen. So if you're targeting each platform, instead of having to do 3 different setups, you just do it all in one. That's kind of cool. And then I just rename this to pause menu. Pause menu is not a valid role name. That's because I got a space in it. There we go. I imagine we'll be able to find that. Let's keep going. Okay, we've done all U, common UI. No, we haven't done that. Common UI widgets map these abstract action to actual inputs. For example, you can add a data table and row name reference to the trigger input action in the common button base widget. After that, what? Common button base widget. Is that in... Okay, I'm going to save this one. Right click. All class. Common UI. Which one was it? Common button base. Common button style. Common button base. Oh, so that goes inside of our UMG. So we haven't got that far yet. Default navigation action setup. Cardinal navigation is natively supported by Unreal Engine. However, Common UI uses the Common UI input data asset to define universal click and back input actions that are used across all platforms. Create a new blueprint class in the content browser. Search for Common UI input data. Right click, blueprint class. Common UI input metadata. Common UI input data. Select. Common UI input data. Default click action would be data table row name pause menu. Why does it say click and back? What would a key would be click, wouldn't it? But what's a back action? Default click action, navigate forwards. Default back action, navigate back. Am I not just... This is going to take some getting used to. So rather than having 3 different buttons, or 2 different inputs to go forward and back like a flip-flop, you put it in here and you have 2 different ones. So is it going to be easier if I close this, do that, and then I think I have something like, if I rename this, menu open, and then duplicate, rename, menu back, or menu close, it's going to use the same input, same data. Open menu, close menu. Oh my god, I'm sitting on my leg, it's killing. When you press escape or something to close a menu, I think that's what it means. It's going to close it, but it's saying that we need 2. So here it's got row name navigate forward and then row name navigate back, both on the same one. But it doesn't tell you that in here. It doesn't show you that setup. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same button. Oh, what this? Oh, it's probably more easier to explain. It's probably on the controller. So X would be click. You're going to click on a button using X, and then to go back you would press circle, and that would go back down. I think that's what it's going for, but we'll see how it handles the PC inputs to whether it does it that way. I think for the controller, that's how it would work. So open menu, you have gamepad special right, and then close menu would be gamepad face button right, which would be circle. So I think that's how that would work. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. I guess like in games you might have open menu, back equals menu, or item back menu, etc. You could have multiple UMGs go back to a single UMG. Yeah, I think it's just about rebinding the buttons. I think I'm trying to think of the keyboard button inputs and the PlayStation inputs, and I think that's the confusion. So if we open that back up, Common UI is a bit slow, or it might just be because I'm using the best graphics. I don't typically do that. There we go. Pause menu, generic inputs. Wait, what? Row name? Wait there. That's better. Menu close. Input action data composite. Let's try this. This one makes more sense to me using the ones that we're building. So back, menu close, default hold. I don't think we need anything for that. Yeah, it doesn't show it on there. Project settings, game, common input settings, input data. So now we can add it in to the project settings. Project settings, scroll down, plugins. Common UI editor. We don't have any of those. UI framework. Common UI input settings. Nope. Which window are you in? Project settings, game. Game common. I'm in the wrong place. Game. Ooh. Game common input settings. Input data. CI input data. So that's bringing up this one. Okay. Makes sense. The assets specified above will be loaded by Common UI and used for default navigation. The designated click button substitutes for mouse clicks when highlighting buttons on other interactable elements. And designated back button is universally used for navigating backward from your current menu to a previous one. So if we kept reading, we would have figured it out. But we were right. That's exactly what it does. It's not too bad to figure it out and then getting the confirmation that we were right. Controller data binding, platform specific UI elements. Controller data assets associate key actions. Let's zoom in. I'll try and make this a bit bigger view. Controller data assets action key actions with UI elements. Each controller data asset is associated with an input type, gamepad, and platform. Common UI uses this information to automatically use the correct platform-specific UI elements based on the current platform and input type. Optionally, the platforms that support multiple input types or unique gamepads, it can also use the user's input to find the correct gamepad and swap its UI elements at runtime. Cool. So that's going back to being like if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, it would automatically figure out what platform you're using and then switch the inputs for us. That's super cool and really helpful. Simon, hi. We're currently fighting Unreal documentation and figuring out Common UI. Right-click the content browser and create a new blueprint class. Search for common input base controller data. and select to create a new controller data asset. We haven't done that yet. Okay. Let's keep going. Right click, blueprint class, common. Oh my god, I keep spelling it wrong. Common input base controller data. We want U. Open this. Cool. Search for common input data, select create new data asset. Populate the controller data asset with assets and information about one of the controllers you plan to support. In this case, it's PC. Oh, what have you got more? Do you need one for each? Set button image height to controller texture. We need just a. We're not using Android, but we'll use this little guy. Why not? Input brush data. Okay. Input brush data map. So yeah, game face button would be A key. That's the picture it would show. Input brush data map. Open key. Can we use that little mouse button? Oh, so we can basically assign every single thing on our keyboard a custom image, gamepads, and that's what it's going to switch. God, that's tedious. Very helpful. Very helpful. But incredibly tedious. I know we're using escape, so we'll use that one and we'll do a little target. Everything's going to have its own little image. Image size 32 by 32, draw. Save that one. Okay. I lost my window already. Okay, and then it's going to break my scroll. Why does this happen? You open an image on it and it breaks it. Josh, mine is struggling to understand why this is being used over enhanced input. I really like enhanced input. Don't think of it as replacing enhanced input. Think of it working alongside enhanced input. Enhanced input controls your gameplay system, and then this common UI seems to control just the UI system. Think of them as two different things. That's kind of where I'm going with it. I think, like, when I started, as I said, if you wonder why we don't use the enhanced input system, it's going to make it really complex if we've got different UI elements. I think once we get to the UI stuff, this is going to make a lot more sense. But think of them as two different things. Or actually, what I can do is I can use my tablet stream. Where is it? I've got my pen. Cool. So we've got, let's see if I can do this. Move some stuff around. You guys can't see us for a second. But we've got our main game. And then we go down. We've got, I should split that. We've got gameplay, which uses the modular enhanced input. And then we've got the UI, which is laid on top. Gameplay, and then UI. So we could use the enhanced input system to enable our UI on the screen, I think, and then display, and then the UI common input takes over for the input class, and then we go back. This is probably making it really more complex to think about, but I think if you use them side by side, it's going to be really powerful. And to be fair, you've seen it, how it works in in Fortnite, so it does make quite a difference. We don't use enhanced input system for the UI stuff, Simon. So that's how it's going to work. You're going to have the enhanced input system for gameplay, and then enhanced input system, common UI for the UI stuff. Josh, I think I get it. So since UI can have multiple actions for a single button depending on which menu you're in, this will make it easier rather than binding button X to be like jump or confirm. Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't have to have an individual input action for every single thing. This is just going to automatically hot swap it out for us. It's essentially two different systems working on top of each other. That's how I think it's going to work. Which, if it's the case, it's going to be really cool. But I'm not too sure how it will translate to VR. Where did we get to? We got to here. We were plugging in new data. Pop that in there. And then we've got input the data table. Okay. Okay, I think I get it. I think once, basically, I think as well, once we get some UI on the screen, I think it's going to make it a lot more sense. I think that's where it'll be really handy to see it in action. So we've done that. We've added little icons. We went in and we added. Did we do 4? Common input settings, platform input, project, common input settings, platform input. Cool, so now we can actually go in and set each one. So Windows default, that's going to be on mouse and keyboard. And then we don't support touch, mouse, keyboard, gamepad, default gamepad name, Windows, yeah. All very relevant for me. I prototype in Skyrim VR dialogue in GDXR. Nice. Honestly, I'd like to see that in the Discord. Josh, might be like in game you have R2 equals shoot, but in map UI you have R2 equals zoom. Exactly. And then items you have R2 tab. Yeah, you can kind of just reuse stuff once it's on the screen. It could be really handy. But I didn't realize this was all part of the common UI. I thought it was just the stacking of the UMG stuff that goes with that side of it. So it's pretty cool. Oh, let me take my shoe back. Where's console? Platform data. We've got Android, Linux, Mac, TV, Windows. I think Windows is going to act as controller data. Controller database. Mouse and keyboard. Default gamepad name generic. That's currently set to Windows. That's fine. Controller data. Keyboard. Input brushes. Generic gamepad brushes. Okay. Mouse and keyboard. Okay. This needs to be renamed to make it easier, I think. Go. Keyboard. And then do we have another one? Duplicate, which is gamepad. And then the gamepad. Let's do, I think, right? Yeah. Gamepad face button right would be circle. Gamepad name Why does it only give us the gamepad name generic? Gamepad display name. I just do. Oh. I imagine these will make more sense later. Well, they've got language as well, so you can actually localize it. That's pretty cool. Man, the more I use Unreal, the better it gets. This is the fun stuff. I haven't been able to do anything like this in a long time. Oh. The dreaded please wait. Should be alright. Josh, maybe you can add more in some project setting. Or maybe game mode, the gamepad name. That's what I thought. I thought you'd be able to just customize it unless they're using a specific one. Default input, controller. Now I can do gamepad. New gamepad, and then we do both. I'm just not too sure why it was saying the generic. Unless it's just like a global thing. Unreal doesn't know what kind of gamepad you're using, so it's just saying, okay, there's a generic gamepad being used. I think that's more likely to be the case. Otherwise, it would probably be in Common UI inputs. Common UI editor. Haven't got that far yet. Input actions. It's so tempting to jump ahead. Let's go. Gotta refresh this every time I open an image. Cool. Common UI widget library and widget styling. So this is going to be the main area. Common UI has a library of widgets listed under the Common UI plugin section in UMG's palette. Many of these are pieces of UI functionality that are commonly reproduced in many games and applications, including specialized text block for date and time, numeric values, navigation and visibility aids like carousels and animated switches. Oh, so this is, let's say, button style, for example. This is kind of like the GDXR template. Have you seen it? Where I have one UMG, which all it contains is a button. But then I'm using event dispatchers to reuse that button throughout all the other UMGs. So if I change the design, it updates everywhere. This is just taking it out of UMG and putting it into a data asset. That's handy. Platform is like loading guard and hardware as we put it. Widgets that provide basic functionality like buttons and text, but that use style data assets for styling. One of these widgets have the styling option of the equivalent base UMG widget. Instead, they reference common style assets, making it possible to apply a consistent style across multiple menus and HUDs. So we go back to the top with a Fortnite image. Where is it? This one, these buttons could just be one button style, and then it's reused for all of them. So if you changed it in one place, it would update all. Same with all of this, I think. So this blue, if you updated one color in one UI, it would update all of them. Okay. So now we get into UI stuff. Wicked. Common UI has a library of widgets listed under the Common UI plugin section in UMG's palette. We've already read that. To make a common style asset, right-click in the content browser and create a blueprint. Then select one of the common style classes at this base. So, blueprint class, common button style, CI, common UI, button style. You could, in theory, have completely different designs per platform. It would be an absolute nightmare. But I'm pretty sure that's what it's saying you can do. Project settings, platform, where are you? There you are. Populate its details with the styling information that you want to apply common UI widgets. These are typically the same as the styling options on standard UMG widgets. Whether or not style uses a drop shadow. Yes. What I could do is set this to rounded outline. I think fixed radius is the wrong one. Comment, and let's do like 30 by 30 by 30 by 30. Width, border, we'll do something like 5. And we'll make a black border. It's going to be really ugly, but we just want to test it. So the border's white and the button's black. How does that work? Width 5. Use brush transparency. No. It's a shame they don't have a visualizer. But I imagine once we put it in there, we can just have it on a different monitor and tweak it. Let's just do something like that. Outline settings. I thought the outline would change the whole thing, and then the center would just be white. Unless I've just got it really big and that's what it's doing. Let's try that. I think a visualizer would make this easier. There we go. Keep that outline, single brush, single material brush, button padding. Let's just give it 5. Minimum width and height. We don't have a size for that, so let's just do 128 by 80. Should make it long and thin. Normal text style. Normal hover text style. Select the text. Are these all different ones? Yeah, so you basically go through and you build inputs for all of these and then put them in to the button style. It's like nested. You've got files inside of files and inside of files, and they keep just going through. Hover sound, let's just click. Clear that one. Okay. Normal base, that's... Don't know what the normal stuff is. Compile. So now I think we can go into the UI. Assign it to a common UI widget of the appropriate type. For example, if you create a common text style asset, you would assign it the style field in the common text widget. So let's just do a new UI. User widget. Widget blueprint underscore hood master. I'm going to work with the UMG the same way that I normally do. Canvas panel. And then common. How do we do a common button? Or is it literally just a normal button? So that's for the text, but we just made a button. Oh, this deals with the styling information that you want to apply to common UI widgets. These are typically the same as the styling options on standard UMG widgets. is it project settings and then common UI editor, template button style, and then just a button. Button style. Let's make 60 by 60 by 60 by 60. I don't think anything changed. We definitely didn't change because of tint colors. I forgot about that. Style. Normal. That doesn't seem right. Okay, we're lost. What do we do? Common text, but we don't need text right now. Okay, common UI button style. Let's have a Google. See if we can find anything that's wrote up. The gamepad name, and why would the text need to be common? The text would need to be common because it's more the fonting. Let's say we're in here and we add text. We have to go through. We've got to change the color, the font, and then go through and change the image if we have custom ones. Whereas if it's a common one, you just do it once and everything's going to have that. So it's all about reusability. It's just a modular system we can use, but I don't know how to set the styles. Text style don't work. Common button styles. Just want to change the button. Like CSS. Not too sure. Thought changing the buttons would be easier. Common UI's button widgets related classes are a really, really good example to learn if you want to make your own centralized system. Okay. Okay, we don't need C++. Common button styles. Common button base uses button style assets to define its appearance. Buttons have 7 states and style. Asset has a text slot for each. Find anything. Nope. What? What the? Common UI? Common UI plugin. There has to be something for a button. Definitely a button style that I did. Or probably must be edit defaults only, blueprint read only. Is that what I made? Common button base? Doesn't seem right. There's only one button showing up. Wait, what? I thought it would just be a case of creating a button and then just dragging it on. That's the document, normal style, applying common button styles. Weird thing is that out of the box, U common button base will apply the defined brush style to itself when the state changes, but it won't apply the corresponding text style to anything inside of it. To make your text change to the correct text appearance, create a subclass of U common button base and override the native current text style change function. Use the class return. Button. Common button base. It's like button and then what did they say in that document? Override the native onCurrent text style change function and use the class return icon class. This is annoying. There's got to be a way to do it with blueprints. I think I'm going the wrong direction. Delete. Is there a demo menu in the plugin? I don't think so. Plugin. No. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but it's just UI stuff. No, it doesn't look like there's a demo. It was definitely worth a shot. Give us a second, guys. I'm going to close the window. It's getting chilly. Cool, I'm back. Let's have a drink. There's gotta be a way to use this in the HUD. It just, it seems to make more sense to me if you do that. We shouldn't have to code it in, I don't think. Button 1. Get Set style. It's not going to do it. Demona. Hey, I'm rewinding to the start. You don't have to go to the start. There's got to be something I'm missing with this button. Common button, just a normal button. Common UI. Activatable widget. That's definitely not it. Common action widget. No. I'm confused. We were doing all right, and now I'm not. Okay, we might have to watch some videos. I have to remember to put links in the description. Common button. Let's kind of skip through. We just want to change the button style. Style common UI button base. Okay. Common button base. Is that not what we did? Wait, what? The text is easy enough. We can do a text style. But they're not using... Let's watch some Volkilla games. I'm going to put the link in the chat for anyone. Let me do a notepad. Nope. No clue what we're doing. Setting common text, that makes sense. Wait, you gotta just go... Add a button. Graph, button. Compile. I'm so confused. Hills. That's not... I'm even more confused. Button base. They've got a button. Common action widget. Common action widget. Does that help? Button base. Style button. What? Oh, it's working the same way as what I've already got in the GDXR template. So you create a new UMG. So common common button base. Select that. UMG underscore button. Oh, what? Rename. UMG underscore button base. You open that up. You can keep that as it is, but you go to graph, style, button style, and then add it in here. So it's behind that. So if I set this brush to transparent, there we've got it. But that's expensive. That's really expensive. If we're running this on like a canvas panel or something. Common action widget. Can I just use that? Common widget that shows a platform specific icon for the given input action. So we add a common border. It brings our button in. So button style, half radius. And then that changes. It doesn't look like it's 128. It looks way bigger. Which size? It should be 32 by 32. At least we got a button in there. So it just stays the same size. Do we need... Oh, why do we need a common border? So if I open up HUD master, and now we have this one with, let's say, a border, canvas panel, sorry. Just because I can't be bothered to deal with horizontal graphs. The canvas panel automatically adds our button style. Your what? Oh, I changed the class. Set it back to user widget. And then canvas panel. There we go. And then we can add, it's going to be user created. UMG base. Should be in there. What? I thought I was on a roll. Now I'm more confused. I think these need more descriptions. Oh, UMG button base. It's not. It's okay. Benefits, but slow. I thought it would at least change to match the sizing. Image size, and then we've got minimum width. Oh, okay. I think I'm with it. Size to content. So now we can control it. There we go. Back to 30. So you have a button style, a button base, and then you can add that to the HUD master. Seems a little. Oh. It's the thing with Unreal, like they know what they're doing, but it doesn't make it easy. So can I just add text to this now? No. And now I'm unsure whether it's just goes to the normal setup. I can't stand using level blueprints. Yep, player controller. So now we press play, we get our button in the top left. Okay. I think this is where we're kind of just thrown at the wolves. Got to figure it out. Discord, everyone's okay. Two seconds, everyone. Make sure everything's all good. 2 seconds, everyone. Just sorting something out. Cool. All right. Where's everyone gone? Live stream. Cool. I think that's it. So for the buttons, base, and then you would have a common text. Let's see, standard there. Text style. We don't have a style, so let's make one. Common text style. Auto typeface bold, size 24. Assign that. We select the style. And if I put it to red or orange, it should just update, and it's in there. Can't change the text. Do I have to code it in like I normally would, or I can type the text here, but that's not good. Especially if I'm reusing it. Let's get back to having a look. Common text block in text. I think we do. I think we have to code it in. So, common text style button base. Make sure text is a variable. Pre-construct. Set text here. Promote to variable. Input text to make that public. So now if I reuse this in HUD master, which we've got, I can then input the text and it'll update. This is going to be some effort to wrap your head around. Button base, common style. Button style. Let's have you. Base. Kind of just play around with it in here then. I'm not too sure what's with the minimum height and the minimum width. Doesn't seem to change anything. Size to content. 32 by 32. Got a padding of 10, 20. Puts a padding around it for the text. Okay. So really, if I change the font size, something like 70, it should make it smaller. There we go. And then it's starting to pinch. So if I do the base, oh, where did that window go? I want common button style. Why does it keep closing the window? Common button style, and then use the minimum. I think that would stop that happening. I'm not too sure how big I need it. Let's say to do width 150 by 80, just something random. No, it still didn't do it. Aha! It might have just been too small. And then now I could change the text size to be something way smaller, and it's not gonna crush it down. Okay. And then if I go bigger, it's gonna go way big. I think I understand it. I think. How's everyone doing on the stream? We all alright? I know I've been mumbling through it at this point. I think I need to make some notes. I can write these up better later on. Let's just do... Oh, I'm probably going to have to watch this stream back through. Let's leave notes. We'll keep that one. Josh, doing good, just chilling, watching this and doing work. Not bad. You're doing fun work? Hopefully. God, that is ugly. So common text block. That's fine. And then common border. I feel like the border is unnecessary. I don't understand why you need just the border. On order. Replace with child. It doesn't even let me replace with a child. Not as fun as Unreal. I want to get back into the project. Took a week break. Now I have all the ideas. Yeah, I had like 3 weeks off between like just working on stuff, like client work. So now it's like going from there. Good. Cool. Sorry guys, just checking my emails. I've been working on a client project and the deadline was yesterday, so just making sure they're all alright. Okay, HUD. We didn't need a button in the HUD, so let's do. See the button pressing. Let me test to see if the PlayStation controller actually works. No. Let's have a look at connecting a PS5 controller to Unreal. Be something simple. Let's try this. Can't hurt. Actions, input, default. That should be okay. That's all we need. Not doing it. It's possible that it's because I'm connected to the PC via Bluetooth as well. So it's possible that that's what's causing the issue. I do have a cable. I can use USB. Install something? Let's just see if I can connect it via USB. Why are we not working? I've got the PlayStation firmware. I can't even get the PS5 SDK. So I literally just have to use it as a fake. Oh, don't start this again. My speakers keep messing up. Try this. I really hope my speakers don't keep doing this. Ooh, I can send it through the wireless controller. Put my speakers back on. It should stop them from... I spoke too soon. Where is it? Play something with sound. That should kick them in. But my Bluetooth speakers just keep connecting and automatically connecting. So it's annoying. What is happening? Oh, I wonder if it's because they're Bluetooth. And then I've connected the controller with Bluetooth. I wonder if it's messing something up. Stop. Please stop. It's so annoying. Remove device. Remove. Okay, it's turned off. God. DualSense. Yeah, I think it's the PlayStation overriding. There we go. I normally use headphones with it, so I never really saw it before, but I couldn't figure out what it was. Now I know. No. Worry about that. I'll figure that out later. Otherwise, I have to download everything. Cool. Blueprints. So I think what we need to do is just create some kind of menu. But the common UI, the master, I don't want to use this canvas panel. I want to use the stacker feature. Common action widget. It's gonna get so confusing. All right, let's have a look for some more stuff. Basically, what we wanted to do is we want to have a fake menu that is on the screen at all times. So let's do that. We've got the HUD master. Let's do a user interface widget blueprint. I'm dinging. Cool. Right, everyone's messaging me now. You do a live stream and then you get popular. Audio knob large. Not bad. Base for widgets are capable of being activated and deactivated during their lifetime without being otherwise modified or destroyed. This is generally desired for one or more of the following purposes. This widget can turn on or off without being removed from the hierarchy or otherwise reconstructing the underlying S widgets. So constructs as destruct are insufficient. You'd like to be able to go back from this widget rather than means back a breadcrumb, closing a model or something else. Wait, what? HUD master is going to need something. That's the base. That's what's applied to our game. When we press play, it's applied. We can't say anything because there's nothing there. We then want to say, okay, we're at a specific point. We want to enable our player HUD. So user widgets, user interface, widget blueprint. I don't know if it has to be a common user widget or something else. Common activatable widget they've got here. So you're just using a canvas panel with a common activatable widget. I want to see it. I want to see it in action. Okay. I can't tell this is the main, his main menu. We might have to look for a different one. Okay. The game dev cave. Let's paste that in for everyone. Busy man. I have been the last 2 weeks. I haven't stopped. Actually, 3 weeks. This is the first day I've had where I can focus on my own stuff, which is why I'm diving into this, which has been really nice. Cool. Just making notes of the videos that we're watching on stream, so then I can add them in the description, and they know that we watch their stuff. Because we would already be screwed if we didn't. PP button style. What do I do for work? Pretty much this full time, except I've been doing a client project which is tablet-based AR, and it's going in schools on Thursday. So it's been a busy couple of weeks. But for anyone who's wondering, I do have a website. For the studio, which I need to upgrade as well. Not upgrade, update. So he has the master, user base canvas, kind of our master, and then he has a common activatable widget stack. Common activatable widget switcher. Only the widget at the top of the stack is displayed and activated. All others are deactivated when the topmost display widget deactivates. It's automatically removed and preceded entry is displayed. So this is the stacking. So it works as like a pancake. 0, 0. So that's full screen. So now if we add something to this stack, it should work. So we could have our user interface. God, my partner's working on my laptop and it sounds like a hairdryer going off right now. And go from there. Simon, hi Jonathan, long time no watch. Hi, also. It's all good. Thanks for dropping by. Currently figuring out widget switches and common UI. So I'm more intrigued about how they're adding it. And then we can do some logic. I'll do
Used to normal widget blueprints, you know, they very hard cut in and you have to manually like make an animation that you have to play at event construct, and it's all a little bit messy. This fixes all of that. So let's real quick go into the event graph and make a custom event here, and that'll be called push widget. We'll use the common activatable widget stack, and that one has a function on it called push widget, which of course pushes a widget onto this stack. We connect up the activatable widget class as a parameter for that function or that event, and that's pretty much all there is to it.
So that's going to be hoodmaster common get push widget event push widget there. So now, because we're pushing this to the HUD in our level blueprint, which is the worst place to do this, we could then do push widget just that doesn't seem right. That's not going to be the widget we need to push. Let's keep going.
We could, if we wanted to, just to be sure that we have that possibility.
He's going to do a push and remove, isn't he?
Or whatever blueprint you have. And we'll at begin play here, we'll make a custom event, add widget canvas, which will add to this whole thing at begin play. And all this will do is it will create a widget, the widget blue viewport.
Put it to the screen, get a reference. That's what we've got.
Simple and easy to do.
He's just doing it in his player instead.
We want to add a menu when we press a certain button. Let's say that we made a moment ago, and when we press this, we will push whatever widget we put into here. So let's go ahead and make that widget. Because here it is important that in the user interface, we create a widget blueprint, but we don't want to make a normal user widget here. Instead, we want to make a common activatable widget.
Aha. So we can have the HUD master, but we want to do... I've got something stuck in my teeth and it's bugging me. Common activatable widget. Select CI player HUD. This is going to be on screen most. So now if we go back to the level blueprint, it's going to let us select from that. Player HUD. So now if we do... I hate using canvas panels. I'm so used to trying to optimize everything on VR. Canvas panel HUD. So we could have... I think this is where it would be the image. You would have like a D-pad here. So you could have do image scale everything properly. I might be a bit too small. This is the hard part, is when you're trying to do something without planning it. So this could be like a picture of a grenade. The top one could be a health pack. And so on. So we have it like so. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's going to bug me anyway. Can have these, and then you would have something like the common UI button, I think. Either way, let's have that there. We'll do an image on the right for like a game map. Let's just use that. Looks more like a mobile UI. So now when we press play, it's put in there. Cool. Pretty much standard UI stuff. Picture anchor point, bottom right. Pushed. So now if we, let's just say we've got a bunch of these. We'll sort all the inputs out afterwards. We can make it better. But I just want to demo it. Which class was that? Is it stackable? Common activatable widget. Common activatable widget. CI underscore game map. So this is going to be another canvas panel. This one's going to have an image on it, which would be our game map. And then let's do a blur. Zero, zero. -1, put it behind 20. Save. So the idea is if we press M on the keyboard for map, it would push it to our HUD. So open level blueprint. We'll do an actual key in a bit. We still have inputs in here like this. There they are. What's it called? Is it just M key? M. Menu M. We get. We push widget pressed. And this is going to be our game map. Let's do something like an ordinary flip-flop. So we press it the first time, we add it, and then we need to do a remove. Widget. Widget to remove. Just this game map. I wonder what happens if a game map's not valid. I wonder if it causes issues. So now we press play. We can run around. And let's say we want to add a map to the screen. We can press M on the keyboard. Oh, it even transitions. Ooh, it won't remove. I didn't do remove. I wonder if there's a way to customize the transitions. It's not right. Oh my god, I've got some. There's something really stuck in my teeth and it's killing. I wonder if it's best to do an array. Rather than a specific thing. So we would promote that to a variable. We'll try this and then we'll see what happens if you add more. So having it like so. Run around. Want to show a map. That's cool. Press it again. Nothing happens. What is going on? Remove widget. Is there two different ones? There's going to be two different ones. No. Now when I press M, I'm not getting. This remove widget isn't firing. It's consuming the input. So the HUD starts. Do I need to do the... Oh, I wonder if this is where the button inputs come in play. Like the going back.
Which is more or less the same, but it works with that widget stack that we've just created. So let's call this...
Does your M even work? No, it doesn't. So I think it's using the common UI
canvas panel
inputs.
again, and then let's one of those. Quick, just make a common board. Does indeed work. If we padding,
But we'll see how he's removing it.
Of the entire and that's the. We press events, and here we are going is in event construct is cast to be now as a third person character. We can get our canvas widgets and we can say remove widgets, and the widget we want to remove is just this widget itself. And of course, in your third person character, now that we have made this pause menu, you actually want to put in the WBP pause menu. And you'll see that only common activatable widgets show up in this list. So as it is, we'll see that this works. And we need to do the same thing for the background as well. Good button, which will be... So back button is the only thing that will actually do anything in this one, because that is linked up to remove widgets. Everything else is just for show for the time being. But now, if we say return...
So I have to do... So it's not even in the HUD master, I don't think. It's telling me if I do... Oh, what am I doing? HUD master, game map, and then M. Oh, wait a minute, I'll just copy it from here so I don't have to find it again. Do remove from parent in here? That way I don't have to cast to anything to get a reference. Nope. He's casting to the player. We're not doing that. We don't have it in the player. I could put it in the player. This one isn't firing at all, so might as well just do push widget. Let's take all of this and just stick it in the player. So we press M, we add it to the HUD. I feel like there should be a better way of doing this so it's not in the player. To be fair, the enhanced input system, it could be inside of the UMG. So once it's attached to the screen, it's just constantly listening to see if M is pressed, because we're only going to use that button for that specific thing. Which would work. So we add to the viewport, we push the widget, M, we add the map. So there we go, M, map. And then in the game map, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be event, begin, play, event construct, cast to, what's it called? Third person character. Third person character. Get player character. And then spawned menu. Let's just try this. Spawn menu. Get widget. I think this is how we're going to do it. Oh, let's just get M pressed. So what's happening is when we add something to the screen, it's overriding the inputs. So now it's basically pausing the game so we can't run around. But if I press M, still not doing it. What? I thought I had it. Uh, if it's pausing inputs, then this isn't going to fire, is it? Because it's in a different player.
Turn to menu, and with canvas, we can push a widget. On-clicked event to that as well. We can say as third-person character using
Widget canvas. Don't know what happened there. I just realized as well it automatically displays the mouse cursor, which is pretty cool. HUD master. See, cool. So it's getting this. Just not firing. Nope. Oh, my hands are so cold. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Cool. Got about another 40 minutes. So I imagine we'll be able to get this up and running. Let's watch some more.
the widget canvas, we can push a widget, and that widget will be our pause menu too. And as easily as that, we have added a second menu. So now, when we go back into the game, we can press numpad 0, and everything works fine. And then when we go return to menu, it fades over to this other menu. And then when we go back, it fades back to the previous menu. And we can keep stacking this any way we like. So a system which needs a lot of sub-menus and...
Is it because I'm not... Try this. Push the widget, that's fine, that's inside the player. We don't do anything special in here. We're not even using the enhanced input system, we're just using M. We push it, that's fine. We also use this and we set a reference to the spawned menu from our player, third person character. That spawned menu can remove widgets. Little widget. It's not firing. The input isn't firing inside of the map. Which is quite annoying. I wonder if it's something to do... Don't know what happened there. Common UI. Port. Aha! It used this. Gotta be something. What is happening? This is confusing. I don't even know where we're using these keyboard bindings now. Because we're just pushing stuff to the screen. This doesn't even fire. HUD master. We're adding stuff to it, so I assume it wouldn't delete it. I'm so confused. Let's see if I can see anything in here. Just anything about remove?
But if we keep playing, you can see these things fade in and out very nicely because the Common UI plugin.
Well, I'll just use overlay, replace with overlay. Well, that doesn't look right. Oh yeah, we could. I just gotta rescale it all. Canvas panel's cheap. Well, it's not cheap, it's expensive, but for time. I don't understand why this isn't firing. clearly it adds it to the screen, the game map, and then it overrides inputs. And then that's what's causing it to stop. So there's got to be something in here that allows it to not override. True, if this widget is a candidate to receive / root focus or specify a desired UI input config when active. If I disable that, that was it. But then I'm not going back to the game for the HUD. So is that doing the same thing? Only lets me do it once. Why would it only fire once? HUD master needs to be on. What is it? Oh no, which one did I change? A HUD. So player HUD. This one needs to be on support active focus. So that's going to take the inputs to allow me go menu back. But we lose gameplay focus. So when we remove the map. So supports activation focus. But it says intended to be involved in navigation or dictate changes to the active UI input config. What is going on with this? As soon as I drag, I kind of lose it. So it's still doing the UI, and I think it's because it's on this. Which is the player HUD. Supports activation focus. There we go. I can do it once and then it doesn't let me do it again. Why is that? Wait, that added 2. Have I still got code in here? No. Third person character. Event begin play. Create HUD. Push widget. Should only do it once. but we're doing it twice. There's none. Push widgets firing twice. Why are we firing twice? Where is it firing twice from? Still doing it. Tools. Finding blueprints. Let's do push widget event graph. Widget. Push widget. Push widget. To push widget. So Bozo, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're making progress, not very fast, but we're making progress. Oh, 2 seconds. Amazon. Amazon packages. Let's have a look. What's push widget? So we're using the common UI system, which has the ability to kind of stack widgets like pancakes. So by pushing a widget, we can put them on top of each other, and then it'll automatically remove them for us. I can't remember what I ordered off Amazon, so I'm looking. Echo Dot. Look. Ooh, this one's a fun one. I think, if I'm correct, this is my crystal shell for my Steam Deck. So it's not showing up. It's transparent. What have I put in front of me? No, there we go. There we go. Yes. Turn my Steam Deck see-through. It's gonna look so cool. I'll have to do that later on. Cool. All right, back to this. Oh my god, it's really cold. Wait there. Before we get back into it, I might just go to get a jumper on. All right, I will be right back because I am freezing. I don't flash my butt. That's warmer. Oh, God, my hands. I opened all the windows upstairs to let some fresh air in, and it just dropped. Oh, it's like the sun vanished. Simon, what does everybody do here work-wise? Pretty much what you see me doing right now. Pretending like I know what I do. Pretending like I know what I'm doing. When in fact, I'm panicking. But no, I've been working on a tablet-based AR project using Google AR Core in Unreal, which I'm really looking forward to being able to show off. It's been a lot of work. What are we doing? Inputs. We got to figure out why it's firing twice. What I'm doing to make it fire twice. Because it should say hello, but this one... Wait, that's not even... It wasn't even connected. Hello. Okay, so that's this one. Push widget fires twice. It should not. Keyboard. So we've got the HUD master, which is firing twice. We've got our player, which pushes once. If I disconnect here, we don't get anything. Connect it, we get it twice. Why on earth would this be firing twice? Oh! Seriously? My references, I think. But even then, that should only fire once. There we go. Try that. Now it's doing it once. Cool. Press M, it opens up. We can still control the background, remove it, and then play. But we can't add it back in. It hides the map, but does it hide the master? No, it's not hiding the master because we've still got the game HUD on the screen. So HUD master contains the player HUD and the game map. So we add it to the screen and then it adds the player HUD, which we can see here. And then we press M, it adds the map to the screen, hides everything else for us. And then when I press M, it goes back, which I can still control. The problem now is when I press M, it doesn't redo it. If you want any event or function to be executed, make a new boolean, name it is looping. Anyway, I know how to use that. So Bozo, I don't think you understand the common UI system. It does it for you. So you see how I hide it here? As soon as I press M, it'll come up, or at least it will do in the settings. So I don't have to control it myself. So let's say in the map, I'm pretty sure I can go to defaults, set activation focus, and if I do this, then the mouse is hidden. I press M, we get our mouse cursor back automatically, but we can't remove it from the screen. It's waiting for us to press an actual button to close it. So common UI is really powerful. Like, it does all of this for us, basically. We don't have to do booleans and for loops and show mouse cursor. We don't have to do any of that. It just does it. But I'm not too sure why it's not consuming the mouse, the key. Yeah, it doesn't consume it back. So our third person character creates a HUD master, which we get a reference to, and then we add it to the viewport, which is what we can see. So if I remove this, we're just going to see an empty viewport, but the HUD master is applied to it. So just to make that easier to understand, what I can do is do a little bit of text. Anchor at the top, position 0, 0, size, and then move it down a little bit. Cool. That way we can see the HUD master font. So it says HUD master there. That's added, and then our player pushes our player HUD information to it. Doesn't have any use set visibility. If that won't work, I'm good with UI. Are you using the plugin though, the Common UI plugin? Because it's a completely different ballgame. Wait there, if I can spell the bloody thing, I spelled it wrong every time. Yeah, Common UI plugin. If you're just on about normal UI stuff, I can do all that, but we're learning the Common UI system is completely different. So ordinary UMG stuff doesn't really work with this. That's the point. Is we get away from all of that coding, and it does it for us. HUD master, third person player. We push the HUD widget to it, which is cool. And then we have M that we can play. I wonder if I could just push Control C. I'm going to copy this. So the HUD player HUD contains this input. Spawned menu. So that needs a reference to the owner. Table's so loud every time I move it. We got the Amazon stuff, by the way. Cool. I need to pass a reference through to this. And then enable it. Okay, let's leave that off. Player HUD, game map. The HUD doesn't contain anything yet. We just need to figure out how to add and remove the widgets continuously. So we add it in, press M. Doesn't work because I removed master, so we push through. Player character. And we can still see the HUD master at the back there, even though the map's quote map is put on top. Map. Cool. And then support action focus. So that works, but it only works once. Why? Why once? It takes the focus. I wonder if I can do like a remove widget and then remove focus. Remove. That's the problem. There's something in here that's going to allow it to go back. Because as soon as we add the UMG, it takes the focus and then we cannot reuse this input. So it's taking it away from the player. So confusing. It's really cool, but it's confusing. M brings up the map, hides everything else. Harvey, hey, how's it going? Not too bad. Currently struggling with the common UI plugin. So we got it kind of working, but we can't redo it. So it's something to do with this input is not being pressed again afterwards. If I do execute when paused, is it like just pausing that input? No. Reset that. Game map. Automatically activate upon construction. This is the point of we're just playing around. So that breaks it. Because it takes the focus. I want activation focus to be the thing, but this doesn't fire. Positive that's not firing. Yeah. So if that's not firing, it means we're going to do game map. True to receive back actions automatically. Custom back handler behavior can be provided. Default is to deactivate. Have this widget be treated as a root node for input routing, regardless of its actual parentage. Should seldom be needed, but useful in cases where a child widget should prevent all action processing by parents, even though they remain active. Remain active. Am I? Push widgets. Activate widget. No. I don't really know a lot about Unreal, though. I'm doing my masters, and your videos have saved my ass with figuring MetaXR. Could it be like removing the script before it has chance to fire? I don't think it's that. I think it's just consuming an input, and we're removing it, but it's not being told that it's not needed anymore. So it's kind of like not being deactivated. And I think that's what's causing the problem somewhere. So we've got the player, we push a widget, that goes to the HUD master, which we then activate the widget. don't think there's anything in here. Aha, play HUD. I can do that. And then in the player, I don't have to push the HUD. There we go. This is the same thing, except we remove some blueprints. Okay. Is enabled. Player HUD. I want to figure out why these inputs aren't doing it. Try this. When your eyes trigger input action not working when set a control D-pad. Ooh, we're after, but see the same thing.
Hey, how's it going? Today we are going to be looking.
I wonder if it is something to do with the input system. I already done that. Game viewport class, project settings, common input data, Windows default mouse and keyboard. Don't know what they do. So confusing. So much fun. Oh, that's gonna make me restart. Does it swap the input mapping when you open the UI? I don't know. It seems to override it, but I'm not sure how. And then I'm not too sure which inputs it uses. Because at the beginning of the stream, we originally thought... See you in a bit. Love you. In the original, we've created all of these buttons, so we got keyboard. So we can kind of go forward. Mouse and keyboard. M button for the map. That was the idea anyway. Let's do open map. Close map. Same button. We'll forget about the PlayStation stuff. Input action state enable means that the state isn't overridden and the game's dynamic controller will work. I don't know. So we've got menu open and menu close. So player HUD. Like, I don't know how you get input mapping. So it allows us to add an input mapping. That's cool. Actions. Action. I think it really needs to be menu. Player HUD. Ah, it's cool. You don't have to do like crazy enhanced input settings. So player HUD, that's the main one. What if we do the game map from there instead of the player? Blueprints, character. Because the HUD already exists on screen. So we could push. It's not getting the master though, is it? Or do I just do this in the master? So this one doesn't have an enhanced input system. Oh. I'm losing my mind. The other video that we watched just had it go straight in. So we play. The HUD automatically adds player HUD. HUD master automatically adds the player HUD. That's what we need. Now we need something to add the map on top, which in my mind would be best in the HUD, player HUD, enhanced input system. We then add widget. The problem with that is we don't have a reference to our HUD master, which contains the activatable widget stack. I don't know whether I'm going in the right direction or completely the wrong way. This is cool, but it's confusing. We can add it, that's fine. And then imagine if we did player, and then we can do something like the flip-flop. True. Remove widget like we had. How the hell did I have this before? Game map removes itself. And we can do that by doing support activation focus. There we go. Firing multiple times, but I don't know which one's firing. Game map. Clear. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, it's keeping the focus. We remove it. It's even though we can't see it, it's staying on the screen. That's default. I wonder if we can go. It's got the focus. I need to figure out how we can remove that from it. Stop action. Push a widget. We remove it. Remove widget. Push widget. Widget. But the game map doesn't reset. That's weird. I thought it would just be like if it's not in focus, if it's being removed. Let's see if we can Google it. I've got hiccups now. Common UI. This is a new page. Okay. Input event, process message, input handler. Okay. That's enhanced input system, but I don't know if that's gonna be. Nope. It's something to do with set user focus. I'm pretty sure. Whenever you activate an activatable widget, it calls the uComment activatable widget get desired focus target function to choose which widget common UI should focus the user's input on. If you do not implement a custom version of get desired focus target, common UI may have difficulty knowing where to focus as widgets activate and deactivate. For this reason, we strongly recommend that you always implement this function in your activatable widget, get desired focus target. Desired focus target, that would be... There's also a clear user focus. Yeah, widgets. There's only get desired that we can find in Unreal. Has the desired widget to focus when this widget activates? What? I don't think I need to do this. Widget object reference. In the Lyra sample project, each activatable widget class has a custom enum type that determines what method to use for getting the desired focus target. We recommend a similar implementation for most menus that use fixed non-dynamic methods or determining default focus. Why is there never any more pictures? There's got to be a way to get a widget. I have no clue. Still doing it. Does not support focus. Game app does not support focus. That's you there. You think if I'm removing it, it would just get the active widget, which is the one on the top. And then there should be a way to just make that the focus. That would be the idea. Lol, it's never simple with Unreal. Really isn't. It's cool though, like it is a challenge. But you know that once you figure it out, it's going to be so powerful to use. Like, there's a lot in this. It's definitely not a small tool. But you can see how it actually, even though it's got a lot, it reduces the amount even more. Which is where it becomes really good. These are more general stuff, aren't they? Oh, using common with enhanced input. Enable enhanced input support. Project settings. Pretty sure I enabled it. Yeah. Cool. Input action. Add a player mappable key settings to your input action. The settings for your player mappable key settings set the metadata field to an object implemented to icon content. Okay. Actions. Menu. Key settings. Metadata. And then common UI. It says data asset, so that's going to be just say search for it. Oh, generic. I'm definitely spelling that right. Miscellaneous data asset. Is it? I don't know. In context. Miscellaneous data asset. Common map in context. Metadata interface, which is going to be that one. Select. UI, let's go generic. Metadata. Enhanced input meta, common input metadata. What on earth is this? What am I doing? Menu? Common input? Now I'm well and truly lost. Put that in there. Name. Menu. Display name. Menu. And then it's just back to normal. What is the what was that for? I was all lost. Oh, Shreyas, hello. How are you doing today? I'm doing good. A little tired, but good because I'm trying to catch up with everything and it's a bit fun. Although I've got a meeting in about an hour that I gotta head off for, which should also be fun. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day. It's good to see you back. Hope your short vacation was good. Well, the first half was a vacation and the second half was work. So I had a little one, which wasn't too bad. Did enjoy it. What the hell is going on? We're removing the widget, but we're not doing it all. It's not deactivating. Just like deactivate the widget. Surely you can't. If you're deactivating the widget, you shouldn't be able to press inputs in it. I'm losing my mind. Thing is, the other tutorials that we were looking at, I'm pretty sure they don't show it doing it multiple times. Skip through to see if they... We've done all this. That was the beginning part. Button mapping, comment active, action window, widget. Harvey, can you deactivate them, remove it, instead of removing then deactivating? That's... is it going to be really... Is it going to be that? Am I just doing it the wrong way around? Because I was thinking like the reference was still going through, so it shouldn't have to be on the screen, but I think you're right. No, it's still the same thing. Like, I also don't know if it's because I'm messing with these. Yeah, as soon as I do that, I can't do anything. Game map. This just all stops working. So it doesn't even get the action. If I do auto activate, does that give me the input? No. Yeah, we're not even calling this. I don't think I have to do anything else to make the input show up. Let's try. Input action, let's go menu. If this one works, then we know the M button is working fine. So yeah, it's working fine, push it up. So it's just the game map is not doing it. It's just not removing. I just so tempted to just do remove from parent, but I think it's completely wrong. Yeah, it's not doing it. Do I just have to tell the map that I need the mapping context? Is it just something stupid like that? I can't remember which way I'm doing this. So I shouldn't need a player, should I? We're just checking to see if it's valid. No, it's still not doing it. Runtime access not trying to read property local get local player subsystem. Is it get player controller or get player character? Get owning player? I can never remember which one it is. So many subsystems. UE5. Just scroll through docs real quick. Get controller. It's just making me cast to the player. So let me just take this full section. Oh, we're just casting the player controller. Okay. Self. Get player controller. Ah. Good work. Without having to cast. Didn't get anything. I just gotta cast to the player. Get third. Get player character. Get player controller. What I should probably do is just look at the VR template. Because that's all we're trying to do is mimic that system of setting it up in a different blueprint. Cool. Can you deactivate, then remove it? Tried. Add a breakpoint to see if it's calling the code. It's not calling the code at all. Josh, do you know for sure if remove widget is right? Can you make it so when you press M it has a delay and then just closes itself to confirm the logic is fine? The problem is the input's not firing at all, so we can't get it through there. That's part of the problem. Like, this input action just isn't firing, I'm pretty sure. Go, put a breakpoint in, M, we add it, and then if I just spam M, nothing happens. That breakpoint just doesn't fire. So this input action just isn't firing at all. I'm going to double check the blueprints for the widgets in my template. See how it's doing it in there. Because I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, we've only got like 10 minutes left. I'm probably going to have to go. I got a meeting in an hour and I got to get ready for it. Oh, there we go. That's what I think we need. Why did you fail? Target self. Should be fine. Target is actor, we're not an actor. Get player character for target. Okay. You tell I don't work with a third or first person very often. Still not firing. I got the enhanced input. So we're going through. I don't think it's an order thing. Oh. Get player controller. Add mapping context. I'm pretty sure this should have inputs. No. So the issue is you lose all input actions once common UI is focused. It seems to be yes. So if I start, we run it in code order. When I start, I add a widget to the viewport. And then when I press the M button on my keyboard, we push a widget directly to the HUD master. which we're then pushing a widget to the common activatable widget stack. This widget stack then waits for us to press the M button again, and then it adds the map, essentially what we're using for a map. After that, so this whole line fires, this doesn't have any inputs at all, unless I go to, which one is it? I think auto activate, I can't remember which one. No, it's not even auto activate. One of them. I had to disable support activate focus, that was it. And then I have, in the third person player, it was like remove widget or the HUD master. Basically, it's really confusing. I'm confused. But it's just not, the widget that's added on top just isn't getting inputs. Which I thought it would do. I'm clearly missing something. Because we've got input mappings here. We can add the menu. But it's just not, it's not doing anything. I don't think we need all of this. I think that's the whole reason for the enhanced input system anyway. So that fired. I push it once and now it removes and then adds it back in. Support active focus. Yeah, if I do the active focus, it works from where is it? Does it here? I don't have a flip-flop. Support activation focus. If I disable that, this code works. But I assume that I want the focus. I want the focus to be in the current UI. Which is why we're looking at this to be like, okay, we can add the focus. Or at least for here. I thought you had one in the main third-person blueprint. No. We did, I tried. All we've got in here is the button to turn the menu on, I think. Yeah, this is where we do it. So we got the player, it adds a master UMG to the screen. When I press the M button, it pushes the widget, the map, to the screen. It's like 3 layers. If I switch the camera around on the stream, let's do this. And then I figure out how to clear all of this. Cool. So we have the player. We've then got our UMG master. So that is player HUD, spawn menu, that happens on begin play. So begin play, UMG master's added. Then the player can press M. So the player presses M and it adds a map to the UMG master. Well, that's a mess. But we've got the code to remove the map inside of the map widget, and that's what's not firing. So I don't know where the code is staying. So if let's switch this back. If I do print string from here, and we see it say player, then it means the player still has the input. No, so that's lost input. So the player doesn't have it. HUD master. Let's do I don't know, this one's gonna fire. It said master, didn't it? Player push widget. So it's doing all three. Third person player, we press that, we play. It's then pushing the widget, and it's also firing master. But as soon as I do it again, we're losing all input apart from mouse. So if I go to the game map, and we add a button. We can press that. We just can't press controller keys. Oh, that stops working completely. What? What on earth? The two checkboxes are changed. That was in here for handlers back and forth. Yeah, it's losing all input. Oh my god. Guys, I gotta go to the loo. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, that's better. Feels like now that is triggered along with UMG1. Those checkboxes. Press Alt to try and get back into player focus. Does it work then? Nothing's happening. Alt. No. Oh. And now I close it, I remove the widget. I can't even control my character. I need to take a deep dive into this, I think. Dang, this is tricky. It really is. It's a good puzzle, though. Like it is, it's probably something really, really freaking obvious. I think what I need to do is do a new project at some point and just focus on the stacking the widgets. Pretty much what we're doing, but try and tidy it up a little. Or just have a play around to see if there's a better way of doing it. Because we're definitely losing focus somewhere. I thought when we added widgets to it, it would automatically put them up. To me, it makes me think that this whole thing, just to remove widgets, isn't firing. Game map. But we know it is because it's going back. Like, it sounds weird, but I want to be able to get this working so we can just make some like weird UI systems or something. Just have a play around. So there, as soon as I remove it now, I lose all bindings. Which makes me think it's removing and it's going back to the HUD. I don't know if there's something in here that's just overriding it. Support action focus. Turn you off. And I don't get the mouse. Back. That works, but now I'm having to use the Windows tab to see where my mouse is. Like, why is the focus doing that? Oh, I wonder if I could do... Wait, player HUD doesn't need any inputs. Map does. So we do this, press it, we get that back, we go back. No. Supports activation focus. Can I, like... Oh, there's something here. There's gotta be something. I don't think this will fire anything. Removing the widget, we need to remove focus. We need focus. It's gotta be... going around in circles. Is it not the video we're watching, or is it something else? I think it was something else. Yeah, this is for the button one, so when you press it, it shows you which button it is. And then this one, I don't think it shows you it twice.
And then with the text, it's the font size, etc., and the border, same as the button. Okay, and you can by default, and that's because I'm going to kind of speed through here, but I'm going to add a text and then a common action. I am somewhat assuming you guys know what you're doing. The only thing different is how you're going to set the style. Instead of having style drop down, you're going to have a style file that you apply on a common text, as well as the common button. The same thing is in the blueprint. You're going to set the defaults to go to graph and then class defaults, and you're going to notice that style button. And from here, you just assign the style. You're going to notice though, and what's more important is there's a lot of checkboxes here, and it's to hide the input action. And basically there's a couple other ones to make it flexible or not, and then kind of child input action to make sure that it's hidden when it needs to be. Blueprint. All right, for this part, we're going to be making a common activatable widget. So I've already made a little
Common
template.
activatable widget.
It's
That's
just
what we're
confirm
using.
or close with a mouse. We're just going to open the menu, and we have the option to close the menu. With the gamepad, it works the same way, except why do we need the common activatable widget? This is basically used in place of just a standard user widget. And what I mean by that, this is where I think, and when activated, you can give it.
On button base clicked, deactivate widget, and then he removes from the parent. Still doesn't do it. I think now it's because of the player HUD. Oh, we're in a loop. So we remove. Now I'm wondering if the player HUD's just consuming everything. I also don't know why it's firing so much. Wait, what? So player, press the key. This menu button's firing at the same time No, it can't be. Firing 4 times. And I still can't walk around. What? I'm so lost. Is it these? Yeah. Is it for as long as you're holding it down? It's not. It's literally like just press it as fast as I can. Or is it? Is it doing that on trigger? Wait, you might be right. Yeah, it's doing it on trigger. Why? Oh, am I doing? Ah, good catch. Oh, that's not what's being messing the whole thing up the whole time, is it? No, we still have no control, but that fixed that. Okay. So we can push, and then we can remove it. Okay. And then the menu can close itself. And we remove from the parent. Player HUD. Player master. So the HUD master is not focusable. Is enabled. Now I wonder if it's something to do with the player HUD. Set focus to game viewport. Let's try, Josh. No. Still locks up. So it's definitely not that one. Well, it unpauses the game because the character's animated. Character's still moving. I can't figure out a way to see if we've got focus either. Let's player HUD. Desired focus widget, none. I assume it would just fall back to the player. Nope. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna have to call it there because I've really got to go. Been almost a 4-hour stream. Cool, so I'll save all of that. I was going to put this one up on Patreon, but since it's not working, I will leave it till I can figure it out, and then I can put it up as a demo, or for you guys to just figure out and break as well. But in the meantime, if you want more streams, let me know, and also make sure to head over to the Discord, because it's really helpful. And yeah, I'm going to try and do these more regularly from now on. I think I say that every time, but just life. But yeah, all right, everyone. I will see you all later, and I'll try and stop my mic from clipping. Have a good one. All right, bye.